Hey everyone, John here! Now, I wouldn't call my core interest in games multiplayer coded. I'm someone who plays a large variety of games rather than just sticking to one forever. But with that said, there's still a variety of multiplayer games in my rotation, especially on the Switch. And so today, I want to talk about all the multiplayer games that I am still playing. This doesn't mean they're new games, just ones that I've stuck with after all these years. So we are disregarding stuff like ARMS, which as much as I like ARMS, I'm not still playing ARMS. This is just the stuff that I'm honestly still playing quite frequently. And because I am just one man, I wanted to have more shoutouts. So down there in the corner, you can see some of our patrons and what they are playing on their Switch. I've just limited them to just one game per person, but hopefully this gives a bit more variety to the video. Anyway, let's take it away! Let's kick things off with one of my favorite games to play right now, and that is F-Zero 99. Now, when this game came out, I was struggling with the concept of whether this is my favorite F-Zero game. I mean, this is a game included for free with the subscription service, and it's wearing the skin of the original F-Zero. How could that possibly be the best one? Well, after a year has gone by, I have long since accepted that this is my favorite game in the series. 99 just constantly feels good to play. As long as you're a pretty competent player, you're probably never going to come in 99th place, which means you're always beating someone. There's always a feeling that you're doing well, whether you're coming 60th or 40th or 20th or 1st. You're always beating someone. And that's amplified by the rival system. At the start of a race, you're told that these people are your rivals, and they can come anywhere. So as long as you beat one of them, there's still a feeling of victory. And that's what this game is. It always feels like you're winning, regardless of where you come. Now, I'm a pretty good player, but it has been a while since I've won, but I still feel really good about playing this game. I quite frequently come top 10, and that feeling of being in 3rd or 2nd or 1st is always within grasp and making me want to try again and again and again. They keep adding more too. There's the lottery system now to get more cosmetics. There was a winter theme, and right now there's a festival theme, which is very big, by the way. There's all these gems that spawn on some levels, and collecting them will get you more rewards, but it goes on for a long time, and it only lasts for a month, so they want you to keep playing this game again and again and again, and it's working on me. Whenever I feel like I'm done with this, I just pick it up again, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'll ever be done. F-Zero is not only back, but it's never been better than this. And continuing on the 99 train is one of my most played Nintendo Switch games, that is Tetris 99. Now, this is one of my many ways of playing Tetris on the Nintendo Switch, and I tend to juggle quite a few of them. But let's talk about this one first. So this takes Tetris, arguably a perfect game, and gives it all the benefits that F-Zero 99 has as well. So it doesn't really matter how well you do, you're always beating someone, and there's that feeling that you just want to keep going again and again and again to see just how far you can get in the overall ranking. Come 60th, try again. Come 50th, try again. Come 20th, try again. You win, yay! Try again. It's just a constant loop of enjoyment. And if I find myself with just like 5-10 minutes to spare, I'll always boot this game up. And whenever there's a new theme, I'm always there for that. I've never missed a single theme, and I never will. If anything gets in the way of me and my theme, we're gonna have problems, okay? For me, this is up there with Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade 3 and Metroid Dread as one of the must-play Switch games. But also, I play a bunch of other Tetris games, and another one I play is a lot more personal, being Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Now, I've got to be in the right mood for this one because people online are crazy good. And it's not always just Tetris I'm playing. Sometimes I play Puyo Puyo as well. But again, it definitely depends on the mood. I don't play this one quite as frequently because people online are just godlike. And another one I play a lot is Tetris Effect Connected. This is quite frankly one of the coolest co-op modes I've ever experienced in any game ever. So the core of this game is there's 3 of you working together against an AI boss. And once your zone meter completes, you all merge together on one giant Tetris board, and you start just clearing gaps together to try and get the AI to reach the top of the screen. It's a very different style of Tetris, but it's one that unifies players in a way I've never really seen before, and it's just super cool.
There's also classic modes, and it's quite cool playing classic competitive Tetris with the zone meter mechanics. That's just really neat stuff. But again, there's different Tetrises to fit the mood. Do I want just an overall Battle Royale Tetris? I go for 99. Do I want a more personal and quite high-stakes one? Puyo Puyo Tetris. Do I want more of a linking experience? Tetris Effect. I play them all in rotation all the time. Another game I play all the time is Mario Tennis Aces. This one often gets lumped together with the bad Mario sports games, and I'm going to tell everyone here, if a single person in the comments section says this game is bad, I'm going to come over to your house, I'm going to give you a copy of the game, and I'm going to make you play it with me, okay? Aces is not only not bad, it is my favorite Mario sports game. The core tennis gameplay is good. It's Mario Tennis, is always pretty good. But what elevates it is all the special abilities, using that zone to slow down time or use special shots. It's often compared to a fighting game, and that's a very apt comparison. Because once you've got that zone meter, you can pretty much return any shot. It doesn't matter where it's going or how far away you are. If you can slow down time or dive to the ball, you're going to return it. So it becomes less of a game about just playing tennis and more about mind games of where exactly you're going to put the ball and how you're going to drain down their meter so that they can't return it, and you have a massive advantage with your massive meter. So a lot of the time, I will have a full gauge. I could do a special shot, but if they have enough zone that they can easily block it, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to try and exploit my mass amounts of zone to try and dwindle them down. You've probably heard the complaints that this game doesn't have a whole lot of content, and while I don't disagree with that, the core mechanics are endless. They are the content. So if you solely play online like me, just doing the tournament mode, the feeling of variety never really ends. And I'm someone who sticks as just one character. I play as Pauline all the time, and I never feel bored because every opponent plays and feels different to the last. Next up is Splatoon 3. Now, this is an interesting one for me because I played a lot of Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 1, and when Splatoon 3 came along, I played through the campaign, I played a bit of multiplayer, and I kind of thought I'd had my fill. It felt a bit too similar to the previous games. There was nothing really hooking me to keep with it. Like, clearly there were quality of life improvements, like being able to skip the intro. That's a big one. Salmon Run always being active. A huge one. There's lots of nice new tweaks to playing Splatoon, but the core game didn't really feel different. However, in the last few weeks, I've been revisiting this game a lot, and it's made its way back into my rotation. Would I like to see this series take more of a leap? Absolutely. But what we have here is the biggest Splatoon game. There is so much you can do. Like, you can just play the story if you want to, or you can play Turf Wars, or you can do rank modes, or you can do Salmon Run, or the tabletop game. You can just do one thing forever if you want to. And with Splatoon 2, while I really enjoyed Salmon Run while it was active, that limited time window made it so I didn't really play it that much. Whereas now, you can just play Salmon Run and nothing else if you want to, and it will sustain the entire game. It's good enough for that. So I definitely played a lot more 2 than I did 3, but 3 has found its way back into my rotation, and as time goes on, I think I'm going to play a lot more of this game. Next up, we have Mario Party. This is either Super Mario Party, Mario Party Superstars, or the upcoming Super Mario Party Jamboree, most likely. Now, this is something that I play a lot with patrons. So part of our patron reward scheme is you can play games with us, and people very frequently request Super Mario Party or Mario Party Superstars. And every time they do, I have a really, really good time. This is a great game to play when just sitting back and catching up with people. And it's utter madness that they updated Super Mario Party with online like 3 or 4 years after its release. And while some people like to rag on Super Mario Party, honestly, I quite like it. Not all the boards are winners, and yes, there aren't that many boards, but the core game is a lot of fun. I think it's some of the best mini-games in the series, in fact. In some ways, I prefer it over Superstars. I like the risky dice, I like the allies. There's a lot of cool components in Super. They don't really get the credit they deserve. And yes, Mario Party Superstars is also very, very good. These are games I play a lot locally with my wife as well, and it's just really cool that it works so well online. We've been begging for online Mario Party for like a decade plus now, and it's implemented really well. Like when playing with friends, you can just stop around and return to it another time. I never expected them to do that, but it's very nice that it's in there. So yeah, Mario Party works online with friends, with randoms, and it works well. This one's probably on most people's lists, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I very often hear that the online in this game is no good, it's laggy, it's unplayable. Honestly, that does not reflect my experience at all. Like, yes, the netcode could be better, but laggy? Not for me. The vast majority of my online games with randoms work really, really well. And my favorite thing to do with Smash Ultimate is get everyone into Elite Smash. I've been very slowly chipping away at it, and there's some characters that I'm just no good at and will probably never get into Elite Smash, but it is so fun to try. Look, I got Luigi in when capturing this footage. It's a very punishing system that takes more points away for losses than it gives for wins, so you've got to win a lot more games than you lose to get a character in, and the more matches you do as a character, the less points you win. So if you've got one character that you've never played as, you can probably get them into Elite Smash in just a game or two if someone else is in Elite Smash. But if you've lost like 30 times in a row, it's going to take you a long time to get back up there, as I've seen with many characters that I have. But all these years later, Smash Bros. Ultimate is still so much fun. When you just step back and look at the character roster, it is bonkers that it's as balanced as it is. There's so much variety in this game, but still essentially every matchup feels fair. Every character is powerful to an extent, but has weaknesses that you can exploit if you learn the player's timings and patterns. I'm pretty sure this is my most played Switch game, and I can't see anything topping it. Next up we have Nintendo Switch Sports. So when basketball was announced as an update, most reactors said like, who's this for? Who's still playing this game? And I just kind of quietly sat there like, I don't know, not me. There's still a lot of people playing this game online. Pretty much any time in the day, every single one of these 8 sports has a full room that you can just search for whenever. And this game sold like, 14 million copies, so it's not surprising. But you never really hear about it. I think it's just a quiet, casual audience that enjoy this game and play it in their own little bubble. They don't make a fuss about it, but they just have a good time, and they are there. I'm one of them. I go through spurts of playing this game, like sometimes I'll go a month or 2 months without playing, but once I'm hooked on it again, I stay hooked for a very, very long time. I adore golf, I adore tennis, I adore chambara, I even adore basketball now, that's the newest one. Sometimes my teammates don't pass, and that makes me not happy, but if they do pass, there's a surprising amount of depth in whether you're going to try and dribble the ball past your opponent, or wait for an opening with your teammate, or try and shoot immediately and get a three-pointer. There's a lot of risk-reward in this game. It's all about timing and teamwork, so pass the ball, work as a team. And you know what? I didn't mention bowling. Bowling's one of the coolest ones. Bowling's a 16-player deathmatch, and you're slowly dwindling down until more people leave with each round. And it's so rewarding and scary at the same time. Like, yeah, you could get a strike and remain in just about, but then you've got to keep it up. You've got to keep up that streak of getting strikes or spares. If you miss once, then you're probably going to be out. Honestly, they fixed turn-based sports online with this game. Most sports like golf and bowling are no fun online. I don't want to watch a stranger take their turn, that's boring. But now everyone goes at the same time, whether it is in bowling or golf. And yes, usually I do finish before other people and I'm sat just kind of waiting around, but it's far more fun than sitting through 16 people taking their turn one by one. The online nature of this game is what really pushes it forwards. In fact, I've never touched the single player. This is purely an online game for me. And there's so many different systems, whether it's the level for each individual sport or unlocking different avatar items, and sometimes certain sports have twice the experience. You're sort of lingered into doing those rather than sticking with your favorites. You're getting some variety in there. There's just so many layers to it, and the vast majority of sports do have enough hidden depth to carry their own. Like, I love tennis in this game. This is one of my favorite tennis games on the system, alongside Mario Tennis. In fact, it's my favorite golf game on the system too, and I would have bought this just for golf, quite frankly. But there's also volleyball and badminton and all these other sports included. And while they may not all be my favorites, like football is just kind of Rocket League, but slower, which is funny because on 3DS they did Blast Ball, which was just Rocket League, but slower. They did that twice for some reason. But for a bunch of these sports, I will always come back again and again and again. In my opinion, this game is quite severely underrated for how well it's sold. And my last game that I play all the time is, we're ending on a basic one, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, what's weird about this is I've been there since day one for the Wii U version of this game, which came out a decade ago in 2014. It's 2024 now. I've been playing Mario Kart 8 for 10 years, and it's still in my frequent rotation. And that is partially because 8 Deluxe grew a lot. There's a brand new battle mode, which is far, far better than the Wii U's version, which basically didn't have a battle mode. But then, in the last year or two, they added the Booster Course Pack as well, basically doubling the track selection of this game. And yes, these are mostly just ported from Tour, and the graphical quality isn't as good as the core game, but they still add a lot more variety to a 10-year-old game. And this ends up being a game that, again, I play a lot with our patrons. I play it with our patrons as friends, and I play it online with randoms just all the time. It's also a really good game to play online locally, so having 2 people on the same system playing online against the world, it's really good for that. And yes, I am very ready for a brand new Mario Kart. It's been way too long. But 8 Deluxe is one of the best games on the system. It's fully earned that 60 million sold, whatever it's sold now. There's just very few games out there that can have this much while also being this polished. And while this began as a Wii U game 10 years ago, it is still something that I play pretty much every single week.
And there we go. That's the stuff that is still in my rotation on Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm always a bit hesitant to do these videos because Nintendo keep announcing more and more games. I want to look back at Switch's legacy, but there's still legacy to play, apparently. But I'm pretty confident that we've had probably the bulk of multiplayer games that we're gonna get. They're probably going to prove me wrong with that, but at least for now, I think this is a pretty definitive time capsule of what I played on the Switch. Of course, there were more online games. I played a bunch of Clubhouse games during the pandemic, as well as New Horizons and a few games like that. And there's other, like, third-party games. I played a bunch of Fast RMX. I played the Capcom Fighting Collection. But these are things that sort of dropped out of my rotation as time went on. But with that said, when the Marvel vs. Capcom Collection comes out, that is absolutely going in my long-term rotation of games. Anyway, because you watched all the way until the end, it is hot take time. And my hot take today is Nintendo Switch Online isn't that bad. That's a hot take right there. So recently, the price of Game Pass has gone up again, and the value proposition is also a bit weird now. So it used to be that for a year of Game Pass, it would cost around £90 a year. And now it costs like £180 a year, like a double the price just to get that core game library and day one exclusives, which is nuts. And if you're in the family plan on Switch, it's next to nothing. I think I pay like £8 a year for the expansion pass by being part of a family plan. The value is just really good. But also, not only is the retro library in a pretty good place now, I mean, it added Starfy, of course it is, but general games are good. There's more online games that I want to play on the Switch than any other platform. And I realize I'm not the normal person. I'm not the Call of Duty. I'm not the Fortniter, even though Fortnite and Fall Guys and stuff are on the Switch. But just for my tastes, this is the stuff I want to play. I want to swim around in an ocean with 30 people in endless ocean. That's something I want to do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everyone.